So Gala Games is currently a top 100 cryptocurrency and a top 10 crypto gaming token. It's also mentioned by almost every popular gaming influencer. But once you get rid of all the hype that surrounds the Gala token, you may be wondering, what does it actually do? And should you or I be investing our time and money in an ecosystem like Gala? Well, good news. I went through Gala's blog posts, social media, founder interviews, and even Tokenomics, so I can break down everything that it does right here in this video. If you appreciate that, all I ask is that you hit that like button below, put on your learning cap, and let's jump straight in. Gala Games was founded on the 1st of January 2018. The founders were inspired by the success of the crypto game Axie Infinity and realized that crypto blockchain gaming is going to be a $1 trillion industry in the short-term future. And Gala wasn't founded by any random. It was actually founded by some very impressive people, like Eric Schiermeier, the co-founder of Zynga and gaming legend. And if you didn't know it, Zynga is a gaming development company not in Web3 that's currently worth about $10 billion. Another founder was Wright Thurston. He was one of the first major miners in the cryptocurrency space and holder of multiple patents of blockchain technology. And then we have Michael McCarthy, who is the creative director behind the viral gaming hit Farmville 2. I don't know if you remember that massive Facebook game that went crazy in about 2012. Now fast forward to today, Gala employ over 350 people. Yeah, they're huge. And they really are one of the leaders in the blockchain gaming space, because no other company right now has 28 games of this caliber in development. But let's get into what do Gala actually do. Gala say they were founded with one goal in mind: to give back power to the gamers. Their mission is to enable freedom through play. To this end, they have embarked on one of the most ambitious development projects to date, the creation of Gala Games ecosystem. And Gala plan to leverage the insane opportunity of blockchain technology to fulfill this mission. Put as simply as possible, Gala wants you to own the in-game items that you pay for with money or you earn through time playing that game. And although this is not unique in the gaming industry, they were one of the first movers. And being a bunch of gamers themselves, they give a pretty awesome example. They say throughout history, players of the games were always the owners of the in-game assets. From all the way back to the sticks and stones games that the cavemen played, up to playing Pokemon on a Nintendo DS, where you actually owned the cartridge, you could sell the game, and all the items that you earned in that game were on that cartridge, in your ownership. But recently, thanks to the cloud storage and the games being this centralized hub where all this information is now stored, not only do you barely own the actual physical game anymore, but the in-game items you can just never sell, trade, or even own, and they can be banned at any time, deleting all of your hard work. For example, if you unlock some legendary skin in the Apex Legends game, there's no way that you can sell this to another player without selling your entire account. And guess what? Selling your entire account is against Apex Legends terms of service. So you really are becoming a slave to the centralized game that you're playing. And Gala Games want to solve this problem. And I'll show you how they're unique in a sec, but right now, just to recap in the simplest way possible, Gala Games is a blockchain game studio that are developing a variety of blockchain games that will employ this blockchain technology and allow you to own the in-game assets. Now, like I said, Gala aren't alone in this mission. There's a lot of blockchain studios rushing to get their games out there to try and adopt this technology and become the real first movers in this $1 trillion industry. You can think about the land grab of the first apps going into the App Store. Something very similar is happening here. And if you haven't heard the terminology yet, this is called the play to earn revolution. But what sets Gala apart? Why is it top 10, and why are people talking about this token specifically? Well, unlike a lot of other games, say for example Axie Infinity, Gala strive to have the player's experience be #1 priority and the blockchain technology be basically invisible in the background of the gameplay. Meaning they want you to play the games whether you'd get paid to play them or not. And being paid to play them is just one of the perks. And let me tell you, this is not normal in play to earn. A lot of play to earn have the tokenomics and paying the people first, and then they develop the games on the back end, and they really aren't fun to play, but people are only playing because they're making money from them in the short term. And Gala are attempting to produce AAA gaming titles that people would really have fun playing. The founders keep stating in their interviews that the games in development would be top of the Steam chart even if they didn't have the play to earn economics in them. And I believe them, because they really do have the ability to be able to produce these games given the talent that's on their team and the time and the money that they have as resources. The developers on their team are top tier. They're building on Unreal Engine 5. It's the gaming engine that almost all great games are built upon. And Gala Games have the founders with a history of building addictive, very successful games like Farmville 2. And the quality of these games right now, which I'm going to show you in just a second, really are unrivaled in the crypto play to earn space. But my personal favorite thing about Gala and the games that they're producing is they're not reinventing the wheel trying to create the most magical game from scratch. Instead, they're taking the most popular games in the world with a proven track record and massive player bases and reinventing them under their own brand, but with the blockchain play to earn twist. Here's just a couple of their most promising games currently in development. They have a game called Townstar, which is basically the blockchain version of Farmville. It's the flagship game of Gala Games and is currently available to play. Gala Games say over 600 million people in the world have played a farming style game, and Town Stars is created to find out who the best in the world is and reward them with money and prizes. They also have a game in partnership with Battlestar Galactica, which is an MMO 4X strategy game that takes place after the fall. Players find themselves scattered through the galaxy following the attack from the Cylons, with the goal of retaking their home system as a surviving member of one of the 12 colonies. This of course is on the back of the IP of Battlestar Galactica, which have 6 TV series, 2 films, and over 20 books and comics. Another one of their games that is almost ready to play is called Spider Tanks. I'd say this one is inspired by Brawl Stars, as it's a PvP brawler. Players choose between a number of tank bodies and weapons in the garage, then battle it out in one of the many Spider Tank arena maps. They also have something called Champions Arena currently being developed, which is sort of going to be like the Pokemon Battle or the Axie Infinity inspired gameplay, which is a turn-based RPG that allows players to collect over 100 different fascinating and unique NFT champions and various NFT items. You can summon your champions to dispatch them on missions or control them directly in real-time tactical turn-based battle. And lastly, the game I also liked was called Miranda. Mirandus is an epic fantasy RPG set in a massive world ruled by 5-player monarchs. Players have absolute freedom of choice. They can set out into the wilderness alone to try their fortunes against the monsters of the deep woods and dungeons, join with one of the monarchs to serve as a knight in their court, or set up shop in one of the 5 great cities of the realm. Now, another perk of the decentralization of the blockchain is that the players and the investors can actually help build the game. The decentralized Gala Games ecosystem wants players to not only own their own in-game items, but also for Gala Games players to have a voice in how the Gala Games roadmap develops. The old model of building a game like this is someone like EA goes behind doors, spends 3 years and millions of dollars on developing a finished product that they then release to the public, and then they get to see if people are going to like it or not. Gala want to treat their game development more like a Kickstarter indie project, where you could imagine funding a game on Kickstarter that hasn't been built yet. Then every month, the founder of that game and the developers of that game are sending you screenshots and narratives and white paper roadmaps based on what they plan to do with the game. You provide your thoughts and feedback based on what you think would be awesome for you to be playing, and they listen to that feedback and thoughts and actually tweak and change what they're creating to suit your need. And this functionality goes hand in hand with being able to reward early adopters with in-game tokens that can actually be worth real money. And this solves the bootstrapping problem that Chris Dixon always talks about, where you can incentivize people to actually join up to these games before they're ready to play by rewarding them with their in-game token. And Gala are currently doing this by rewarding their early adopters through the Gala Game node ecosystem. And if you don't know what a node is, Google it. No, I'm just kidding. A node is basically where you hook your laptop up and provide computer processing power to the Gala network in exchange for earning Gala token. You're basically keeping their network and their tokenomics running in exchange for being paid small amounts. Now for Gala, you need to buy a node license in order to run a node on your computer. These node licenses started cheap, and every node that they sell, it gets more and more expensive. But Gala are really big fans of these founder nodes, saying it's our goal to create a distributed network of players who are going to own the gaming world. There are currently 16,000 player run nodes, and these nodes are reimbursed daily allocations of Gala tokens, which at the moment is the only way that these tokens are coming into circulating supply. Apart from that, they're only available to buy through the secondary market. But more on tokenomics in just a second. Now, naturally, Gala also have their own NFT marketplace. This will serve as the marketplace for the entire Gala Games ecosystem, and they're calling it the Gala Store. Pretty standard name. But since Gala's mission is focused around player-owned NFTs, the Gala Store serves to distill the range of NFTs across the range of games, across the range of token cryptocurrencies, as each game they produce will have their own tokenomics and their own crypto. But once again, more on that in a second. The marketplace will be the one place to go to buy and sell these NFTs, no matter what chain or game they're on. You can sort and filter items by games, currency, or function, and the most expensive NFT in this store allegedly sold for $3 million. Gala Games also say they've done over 26,000 sales of these NFTs. Now, as a side note that's slightly beyond the scope of this video, Gala is also working on projects in the music and film industry called Gala Music and Gala Film, because they want to expand their empire of play to earn into play to watch and play to listen. Gala Music and Gala Film NFTs will be tradable inside this Gala NFT marketplace, but it's important to note they will have their own individual currencies called Gala Music Token and Gala Film Token, which is a good time to say if you want to get on top of these tokens before they're widely available to the public and everything pumps, consider joining our Patreon. The link is in the description below. This is where we cover all the latest and best upcoming token drops. We follow massive influencers like Alex Becker, and we have a wallet tracker set up across all of his wallets, so we know when he buys or sells a cryptocurrency or an in-game NFT before he promotes it and pumps it on his YouTube. you. We have an awesome community and we will be documenting all the best upcoming opportunities for you. If you want to not miss out on them, once again, link is in the description. Make sure you get in if there are spots open because we do often sell out. So let's get on to the tokenomics of Gala, the good stuff. And just note, I will not be drawing these random arrows on the screen like a lot of these Gala videos that are already out there. There's plenty of those videos. This is going to be dealing with the facts, not the hype, because those videos annoy me. So Gala never had an ICO, but they bring their tokens into existence by their Gala nodes. The only other place that you can get Gala is on secondary marketplaces. At the time I'm recording this video, Gala currently trades just under 5 cents. And this means it has a $330 million circulating supply market. Now there's mixed messages if the total supply of Gala is 35 billion or 50 billion tokens, or if it even capped at all. But if we use the 35 billion provided by CoinMarketCap, the fully diluted ecosystem is currently valued at 1.6 billion. Gala's all-time high price per token was about 71 cents at the end of November in 2021, which was reflected in its $5 billion circulating supply market cap. Remember, the fully diluted one would have been closer to $20 billion. Now, in terms of the Gala token, it serves as a payment and liquidity token for the entire Gala Games ecosystem. It won't be used as rewards for play-to-earn games, as each game they produce, such as Town Stars, will have its own internal cryptocurrency. And as Giancarlo puts it, this makes Gala a high-velocity token, which unfortunately means it may not benefit by the game's success. Put simply, if Town Stars does really well, the Town Star token will do really well, and it may not have any impact on the overall Gala token. You can imagine the opposite if we go back to the Apex Legends example, which is expected to be doing $1 billion a year in revenue. This will directly reflect the value of EA Games, the gaming studio that own it. And once again, this gaming coin won't reflect anything that Gala does in Gala Films or in Gala Music. They will have their own individual token. This is the token of the play-to-earn ecosystem of Gala Games. So lastly, what are my personal thoughts on the Gala Games token? Well, it's kind of strange because on one hand, Gala really is the pioneer in the space, the #1 game developer that's currently developing these blockchain-based games. And when I learned they had over 350 employees, I'm like, there's no one else out there that's on that scale. And this is especially true when you take into the track record of some of their founders. Like the founders were early investors in MySpace and some of the creators of Farmville 2, which was one of the biggest games in the last 10 years. But my concern comes because, okay, maybe this company will be valued in the billions of dollars, but then I look at the token valuation, I'm like, wait a second, they're already valued into the billions of dollars. So is this not already factored in? They also have a track record in their Discord of stating that their focus is not ROI for investors, but to make the best games possible, which is great in the long term, but they continue to say that no one should expect a profit by investing in their NFTs or their game token. And lastly, like we've already spoken about, I'm concerned that they're going to make one of the best games in the world that's going to go absolutely viral, say like the next Fortnite. But because that Fortnite will have its own in-game ecosystem and token that reflects the value that that ecosystem provides, that won't necessarily trickle back down into the Gala Games token. I personally would prefer to bet on the individual game, of which, once again, join the Patreon if you want to see these games dissected and which coins that we're going to be buying into as they release their game. As always though, this is a very fundamental based analysis. You also have to take different factors into account, such as Gala are developing dozens of these play-to-earn games and they're tweaking their in-game tokenomics with every game they create, meaning they're at the forefront of this technology and no one's nailed play-to-earn yet, but they might be the first to stumble across the perfect formula of their play-to-earn tokenomics just because they have the most reps under the bar. So by the 27th game, they may absolutely nail it and that token will absolutely skyrocket. For example, at the time I'm recording this video, they've currently halted Town Star tokens because they already know that they stuffed up the play-to-earn tokenomics and there's way too much inflation on that token. I have a feeling that the next game they launch will already have a fix to this problem. And once again, this is fundamental analysis. If I applied this to something like Dogecoin, there's no way I could see it getting to a $40 billion market cap, but it did. So saying that, I believe Gala Games is almost destined to go up given the next bull cycle because people don't really care what the fundamentals beneath these games are. They just want to make the quick 100x on their tokens. And if you get in before them and know when to sell, you might do really well. However, for me, I believe there's going to be better games to invest my money in with much smaller market cap and much higher ROI. Of course, when the next bull cycle comes. One of the gaming infrastructures I really like so far is Remark. If you haven't seen my breakdown on that so far, click the link in the description or I'll put it somewhere on the screen and I'll see you there.